This problem we have x to the fourth minus 8x squared minus 9 equals 0. And we have an equation, solving it equal to 0, any other number, in this case it's 0. We want to find out for what axis does this make this true. Well, we haven't seen something really or exactly like this, but we've seen something very similar to this. It's a quadratic. It's a quadratic because this middle term x squared and this x to the fourth, well, this is the square of that. X squared squared is x to the fourth. If I see a statement that has that characteristic, I can solve it given some of the tools that we've already learned how to use. And what I'm going to do then is I'm going to make a little bit of a identification here. I recognize this x squared, so I'm going to say that x squared equals u, just for a little bit of a side substitution. And then this x to the fourth, if I square x squared, I get x to the fourth. What do I do to one side? I got to do to the other side. So given my little substitution thing going on here, I have x squared equals u. Then squaring both sides gives me x to the fourth equals u squared. And that's useful because I can go back to my original equation now and substitute with a temporary substitution. It's just temporary, only to make the problem a little bit more able to handle, or for us to be able to handle it. So x to the fourth, I'm going to temporarily make it a u squared, minus 8x squared is a u, minus 9 equals a 0. U squared minus 8u minus 9 equals 0. That looks like a quadratic we can do, only in the fact that we're using u's rather than x's. Well, let's go ahead and solve that and see if we can do anything. First of all, we can use a quadratic formula to solve it. We can complete the square, or we can just see if it factors. That's always a great opportunity to start with. So I'm going to see if it factors first. Factors of negative 9 that add up to negative 8, negative 1, negative 9, and a plus 1. Let's double check that. Yep, that's it. Those are my factors. So for this to be true, u minus 9 equals 0, or u equals 9, or u plus 1 equals 0, or u equals a negative 1. Nope, 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 nope. Not done yet. Our original problem was wanting to solve for x. And we have it in u. So what do? Well, we know we had a substitution here that x squared equal to u. So let's make x squared instead of the u equal 9. And x squared equals a negative 1. How do I solve this? Square root both sides. So I have x equals plus or minus 3. And over here I have x, well, square root both sides. X squared, square root, it gives x equals plus or minus the square root of negative 1, which is I. And so those are my solutions. And notice I have 4 solutions here. Plus or minus 3, plus 3 and a negative 3, plus I and a negative I. So I can look at some of these problems, and if I recognize that this original problem is a standard quadratic, I can use a temporary substitution to turn it into an easier problem, work it through, bounce it back to my original variable, and get my solutions.